comic time. We checked on our boy WPC. That was longer than I expected. Vent comics. They appear to be their own genre. Trigger warning, trauma, disturbing images, conversion therapy, and transphobia. Perfect. Just trying to get some things off my chest, and why I haven't been so bright lately, I guess. My IQ has been low because of this. A monster follows me. Everyone has one. My grandma's followed by that one weird skull fursuit that all the furries are horny for, even though it looks like a dead animal. Some never notice that a monster is following them, but I do. It appeared after those conversion, quote-unquote, therapies, or the rapies, as I call them. Always when I'm alone, memories come back. It comes back. YWN BAW, says the demon in my ear. I can't get rid of it, and I can't help but feel tainted. That's the comic? Yo, this sucks ass. This is bad. Don't care if you were abused. Bad comic. Poor. Generic. Almost at the level of being parody of this kind of comic. Vigirial. That was the last panel. Set of panels. That's it. It was my middle school who forced me to go to that hellhole. I think I didn't have the worst experience, since I never got touched or stuff like that, so I guess I was lucky enough. But lately I've been having these stupid memories that won't leave me alone. I can't even know what triggers me so much. I just wanted to get this from my chest as some sort of art. Maybe that should be enough to get me some peace. Thanks for reading and sorry. You weren't touched or anything? This dude got attacked by Deoxys. That's a Pokemon, right? Is it pronounced Deoxys? Right, let's check their profile. Maybe they said just kidding. I am an artist, 17. Get the f*** off of Twitter. Here's my boyfriend. Are they both trans men? The boyfriend is 16. Get the f*** off of Twitter. Retweeting people going, hi, I live in Gaza, send me money. I'm not saying you shouldn't support people in Gaza. I'm suggesting you should be very careful about people on social media saying, I'm in Gaza, here's my PayPal. They're talking about brown people in art and so on and so forth. Yeah, they're about who you'd expect them to be. Next comic. What Happened to My Choice by Kezia at Sempoi. A comic about choosing which college to go to. What happened to my choice? Apparently her art style is Gaia Online. I used to get involved in art threads in Gaia Online and never advanced past that stage in my development as an artist. My choice has always been College A since middle school. It's close and has good reputation. Really, it was my only choice. I was ignorant of other colleges since I never wanted to live far from my home that time. Boring, shitty diary entries don't become good because you slapped a chibi sketch onto it. I'm sorry. Until College B showed up in our career fair. It sounded like a college I would genuinely enjoy and fit in. I was interested in applying. I even followed their Facebook page to be more... I followed their Facebook page to be more in depth of College B. This is a 10-year-old. Or are they just ESL? Someone who ordered a com hasn't paid yet. I don't want to nag them anymore. Why not? I was happy I'm actually showing genuine interest in other colleges this time. I applied, passed, had a campus tour, and got interviewed. I didn't want to stick my decision to just College B, though. I still have to make a proper choice. They had to make the font smaller so they could fit in all their yapping. But all I could ever talk about ever since was going to College B. I could imagine how classes can be there. And the new learnings. The new learnings! I want to go to College B in pursuit of new learnings. The school's known for having professors from well-known animation studios like Disney, Pixar, and DreamWorks. I mean, who wouldn't want to learn from them, right? However, the cons can't be ignored. First of all, I didn't stick to my decision at first because of how expensive the tuition is. There are also other problems, such as finding a place and basically living in another city. It's him! Also need a friend to go there too if I want to be in CB. Why? What? My friend, who's also interested in going to College B, sure to enroll, was helping me get through it, giving me advice and comfort for the many times I have trouble related to college. Deep down in my heart, I knew my final would be college. But how could I forget? The College A Hypno. My family isn't rich. Welcome to life. Welcome to reality, okay? I wanted to be open. I genuinely want to know what's in it for me in College A. I wanted to see their course description, but why didn't I ask for it? Was I too sure on College B? But that would make me ignorant of making a sure decision, wouldn't it? It broke my heart knowing my parents' faces lit up when they heard the news. Their looks were so different when I last had my interview in College B. Not a single smile seen from them. My parents don't want to pay for me to go to the super expensive college? What assholes? What is this? Are we supposed to empathize? Whatever is in College A benefits us financially. Is that her description of her parents not having to pay as much? They only care about themselves, not giving me their money. The course I'm going to take, I barely see its benefit to me. What is the course? Once we got out, their voices were as loud as mine when I talked about College B. They continue to talk about financial and life benefits I will surely gain if I study at College A, but not a single educational reason that would make me reconsider here. Pay for College B yourself. Figure out a way. I cannot look through this person's eyes. I cannot put myself in their shoes. All I know is that both our biases are showing. My parents are so biased, they don't want to throw money into me going to learn from some ex-Pixar animator. They don't want me to go to gimmick college, but I don't want to be biased. I don't want to be ignorant. Since the last few days, I've been comparing and contrasting pros and cons of both colleges, looking for where my parents' preferences and mine meet. They're paying for it, yes? I value and care for my parents a lot. I don't want the wrong choice to be a burden to my family in the long run. I'm the eldest, after all. I have to be a great daughter and set a great example to my younger siblings. My parents don't understand that logically, the college they must shell out for is College B. Who gives a f*** if that means they then cannot help my siblings? My worry started to lighten a bit when my mom planned to talk to one of my aunts, who has a condo near College B. Looking for a place to live is really one of our concerns. She promised she'll bring it up once we meet up with her in the other city. The original plan was being roommates with the same friend from earlier. However, their place is far from College B. And due to some circumstances, he'll only be able to move to his condo with his brother on January. At least... What is this shit? At least with my aunt's place, it's closer and I already have a guardian, her relative, to be with. Both choices would have been good. I'm glad my friend was still down to be roommates, though. Our current living situation is just troubling. But once we met my aunt, she barely even mentioned it. She promised. Betrayal! That was the last day we could ever contact her since she'll be too busy once back in Japan. What? I felt betrayed. I was kidding. I felt betrayed. It was only 2 questions about my aunt's condo, but she mentioned nothing about me living there. Is that her way of asking? Should I really stop overthinking this? Was it her way of telling me to stay? Once we got home, I ranted everything to my friend in call. I was furious, frustrated, and conflicted. I had so much more trouble deciding where I should go. I didn't even know where to go anymore. From always talking about college to not wanting to mention about it at all. It's my fault for giving my parents that hope back in middle school. What, the hope they wouldn't have to go bankrupt? I also feel bad when my friends ask, what happened to college too? Thought you were already sure of it. But if I choose College A, my parents would be happy. I would be happy too, right? And if I chose Colgy B? Promise I'll stay safe. I promise to pass that scholarship. Promise I'll study hard and join extracurricular activities. I promise to work hard and earn money for my own expenses. This is someone who won't do that. Can I suggest that? Their attitude, as expressed to us by this comic, suggests they are not the person who would do that. You know what you do? Show, don't tell. I'll join extracurricular activities. You haven't already? You haven't already? For myself, for you. Hey, I'm in this comic. I don't want my choice to be a burden to you. But I don't even have the confidence to say it to them, or even to myself. You will be wasting your money at College B. Presume it's an elite college. You have to be driven to make the most of it, right? When I was talking to Oxford, extracurriculars and shit are a minimum to even be considered. It's hard getting clients. Okay. I see what's happening here. There we go. Boo-hoo! My parents won't pay for college. Oh no. My life is ruined. What about my choice? My body, my choice. I get to choose College B. Oh man, it's so hard getting clients. I used to have commissions weekly, but that was 2 years ago. Even with that, the amount I earn wouldn't be enough to sustain me in College B because of my low prices. So cheap. Die. However, it's my quote-unquote only way of getting customers since, again, I have a low reach. I've been trying so many things to attract customers. I give discounts, promos, affordable prices with good quality art, but nothing seems to work out for me. F*** you. F*** you. F*** you. This is the most transparent shit I've seen in my life. I feel this weird guilt whenever my family's, oh, if I go to College B, maybe I'll get more commissions. I feel this weird guilt whenever my family says that they're proud of me for profiting with my talent, when really work's been slow for me and I'm just living in this comfortable lie. How everyone says I'm good at this when I don't even feel succeeded. Don't even feel succeeded. Oh. I've been eating broken glass for 6 weeks. What is this? I've been crying. You guys are going to be happy when you see how many likes and retweets, okay? Been crying for 5 days non-stop. I wanted to stop feeling this unwanted pain. I'm so overwhelmed with making my final choice. I was slowly giving up. I couldn't take it anymore. I was this close. I wanted to end it all with the medicines I have in my room. By the way, I get no commissions. By the way, please buy my high-quality art for a low price. I've been staring at the pills for so long, stuck on contemplating if I should just do it. No matter what good they say to me, I don't think what I'm doing would ever be good enough. I really wanted to kill myself, put those sprinkles on my heart. But I can't die yet. I know my life worth's more than college. I could never ignore the good that has already happened in my life. I wish it could be as good, no matter what path I choose. July 13th will be the time I'll make my final decision after the College A campus tour. I hope it will go well for me. At the end of the day, they still want me to choose for my own. To choose which path will be best for my future. Seriously, for those who've reached this far, thank you so much for reading. Commission's open! You've reached till the end. Thank you so much for reading my comic. I know it's too much to ask, but I do need to help myself if I want to commit my decision to College B. Either way, I'm getting older. And I want to support my... By the way, it will also support my parents. Please, help me pay for the expensive college that will not have any career prospect, that will not provide me any career prospects. Also, I want to support my parents and succeed with my freelance and earn extra for my family. If you're interested in my art style, nope. I hope you'll be able to commission me. If not, then please share to anyone else who would be interested. Yeah, spend your money wisely. I know this comic may seem like an exaggeration, but this is what I felt the times I cried about making my choice. Do your daily clicks. Give me money. I click for Palestine. Give me your money. The OP, 20 retweets, 61 likes. Relatively small. You're welcome. You're welcome for the share. Next up, we have a bigger boy. A story I wanted to tell for Pride 1 of 12. Content warning, domestic abuse, 106k likes, 15k retweets, 9 million views. Furry with a coin slot eye. You're going to conversion therapy camp tomorrow. We have an idiom in my language. An egg in a stone. Is this going to turn into a trans reference as well? An egg in a stone, which refers to someone who has been raised in a way where they're very cared to. I was one of the cases. Damn! A webcomic artist who's coddled? Impossible. My future was decided for me. Either a doctor or a lawyer. Has to be the #1 university in the country, too. Oh no, boo-hoo. It was so bad to the point where I can't even go visit a friend, even in summer break. My parents would lock up all the game consoles during school year until summer break. I had one Game Boy Color hidden in my closet, and that's the only friend I had off school. Skill issue. Why didn't you have friends at the school while you were attending it? What about break times? Every end of the day at school, my parents would send a driver to come pick me up in our family's van. They kept telling me that we are poor. I should have known something was up. What? But the point is, I was not exposed to the outside world as much as I should have been. Yeah, we have a driver to pick you up. We have a... What? They told me they're poor, and yet I had a personal driver. Excuse me? Yes, you should have known something was up. My first exposure to gay media was unfortunately done as a joke. I was a gay prank victim. My friends were watching Maddox. My friends were shouting in one corner of the room that they're watching an icky movie. It was Brokeback Mountain. I laughed it off as usual with my friends, but something inside me has piqued an interest. I kept asking myself if this is possible. Could I be a gay cowboy? That's when it confirmed within me. I had an inkling since a long time ago, but the thought of being with a man brings me joy. I am gay. What is the blue heart? Is that the gay heart? They're not cowboys? I've never seen Brokeback Mountain, okay? I don't know. I always heard it was the cowboy anal movie. Of course, during that time, people were not friendly with the thought. Ooh, you're into men? Ooh, get away from us. Listen, I'm okay, but don't fuck me, alright? Ooh, the disease is here. That's just what chat says when Hexathian shows up. It's not homophobic. Especially both of my parents. There are 2 things in life I would like you to never be. 1, addicted to drugs. 2, being the wrong gender. I don't care if you're trans as long as you're like non-binary. None of that trans woman shit here. Being brainwashed by family. However, yeah, the parent never said gay. They did not say don't be gay here. Being brainwashed by family, I have suppressed the thought of affection for men as much as I could. I acted straight as I could ever be. Until I found internet. On Geegle, I searched gay. Luckily, both my parents do not know about technology. My parents are still making fires by rubbing twigs together. And have left me to discover the internet by myself. A dangerous action, but it served the purpose I needed. What are gay people? What do you do when you like men? Can men kiss? Can men hug? Being gay is okay, love is love. You know about pride? Pride. Did you find Discord? Pride. The wall started to crack. My anus expanded many times over. A lot of people has shifted their thinking due to the voices of being gay is okay. Including me, I have accepted myself that being gay is okay. Comics don't become good because you agree with their message. This is garbage. College years were different. Oh my god, you're gay? I've always wanted a gay friend. That is called an F-hag. OMG, you have a boyfriend? You have to introduce him to us. I will fight for you if anyone ever bullies you. And so I hold on to the tiny gay flag for my tiny gay heart. My life hasn't been easy. I often have to go to the hospital. You see, I was born with a tiny gay heart. Happy that people have changed for the better. Except them. You're going to a conversion therapy camp tomorrow. Your uncle said the same thing. He was cured after. How could you do this to us? We raised you. Bro, you're an adult. They can't do shit to you. By them, he means his parents, not the Jews. Perhaps his parents are Jewish, I'm unaware. It's a religious camp too. It will help you. Plus, we can go visit you there and pray there too. Isn't that great? Go to bed. We'll leave tomorrow at 10 a.m. You're in college. Presumably you're an adult, yes? We had a long talk that night. There were also other reasons and arguments brought up, but in the end, I held on to pride. I held on to the tiniest pride I had in my heart as I said to myself that this will be okay. It's a visual novel that you can't even click on. Somehow less of a game than a visual novel. Accept conversion therapy or run away from home. Requires courage. This is a webcomic artist whose main inspiration is playing free itch.io Ren'P games. Holy shit! The human centipede. I held on to pride. Hey, I have pride too. I'm squeezing it. I held on to the tiniest pride I had in my heart, as I said to myself that this will be okay. It gave me the courage I needed. I woke up 8 a.m. that morning. Made as little noise Bro, that's an early start for you. To sneak out, I woke up at 8 a.m. That's my normal wake up, and even then, that's not an early wake up. Well, I dragged my belongings in a huge plastic bag, hopped on a random taxi going for the apartment I signed. You had the money to... What? You're rich as boy? And never looked back. I'm sorry, but we can't live together anymore. This is degenerate. You should have one square key and one round key. One square key, one round key. No. Wrong. It has been roughly 10 years now, but the memory of that night is still fresh in my mind. Don't worry, I had therapy. I'm doing okay now. Mom, I'm straight. Can I reconnect? I've got a stable job, but people know I'm gay, and I haven't had to hide ever since. Hell, our country just legalized gay marriage too, and the sole reason that I made this comic is to thank you all. You may not feel it, but just you being you may have saved someone. Please have pride. Please have pride in loving who you always want to love. Because aside from what has all happened to me, here we go. I have never been happier. Thank you for reading. I'm sorry if this makes you hard. Sorry. I'm sorry if this makes you sad, but the intended message is that please keep fighting the good fight, and thank you for saving me. I wish I had more production value into this, but I just scrambled this up in 2 hours, lol. IRL makes me have no time. Thank you again for all the love and support. Eve Sapiris, with 1.2k likes, says, conversation therapy sounds horrible, but I'm happy you survived the horrible abuse. May not be 100% queer, but I'm always a strong ally for people to lean on. You're a strong and amazing, wonderful person. Never forget that. Oh my god, your parents were going to make you have a conversation? Yeah, what about human pride? Is human pride considered like white pride? You can only be proud to fantasize about being an animal? Because people are okay with being human? I'm going to peep their profile. I'm going to hide it from the stream, because I'm afraid of what might be here. 18 plus, no minors. Pendes Yoroshku. What? Pendes Yoroshku. I don't know what that is. Ad. There is an ad in their profile for Field Rain Vainwolf, the gay sub-husky. Minors, please unfollow. He streams. That's their voice. Alright. They also retweet other comics that I'm going to look at today. Good thing I'm not showing this on stream. That would have been very bad. That would have been very, very bad. This is some pretty grotesque furry art, in my opinion. Think of like a giant, furry, muscular bear, but it has a giant pussy. Alright. Next webcomic. Doubt. I really wanted to make some more self-expressing works, so yeah. Here's a small comic. Sometimes I'd see some fellas I'd love... Is that really how it starts? Sometimes I'd see some fellas I'd love to interact with, but the moment I decide to write them, past experiences rush through my head together with tons of questions. What if I just try too hard? What if I scare them away by being annoying and clingy, so in the end, I don't do anything at all. But you post on Twitter. Though. This is some fake shit. And the, what I believe is chapter 2. Demons! Trigger warning, trauma. This one is incredibly personal to me, but it's very therapeutic for me to draw and visualize these things. These feelings, even. I hope there will be some people who are not just able to relate to this, but who also finds a bit of peace, P-I-E-C-E, with this comic. I consider myself quite a social person. I like to meet new people, make jokes. I'm usually confident as well. What was that first comic? However, I can be your angle or your devil. I also have a very emotional side, and sometimes some things can trigger this side very badly. There's some very tough things I've been dealing with in my life. Things I wish I never experienced. Things that made some very strong demons hatch from a deadly nest. And while I've been managing to handle them in the right way sometimes, all you're going to find is just a very scared person who just wants to be loved. Just nothing comics. Nothing comics for emo kids. Next comic. This will be the number one desired one after yesterday. Do you want to know what's going to webcomics up? Do you want to know what's going to screw them up really badly? It's not going to be average Joe gets access to AI art. It's going to be someone who can write and speak English, being able to generate art that is exactly in line with what they're imagining without having to learn how to draw. That's what's going to get them. The writers will destroy the draw monkeys using AI. That is my prediction. Like, it's not just going to be, now everyone can generate pictures. Average person, shit ideas. Shit ideas. So even if they generate exactly what they're imagining with AI, they're still going to generate shit. Right? Average person who draws. Shit ideas. That they make pretty. Shit concepts that they can draw prettily. Writers. Good ideas. Not overwhelmingly, but certainly their average is going to be much higher than an artist. And so long as they can visualize, they can get something ballpark, and it's the storytelling that's going to get people in a webcomic. The picture just has to be kind of pleasant to look at, and as long as it's coherent and has a strong message, it's gonna kill them, gonna murder them. And you'd be like, no, you still have to know proportions. No, you don't. Have you been on Facebook? Have you seen what's going on over there? The AI shit that gets shared 1 million times by old Chinese people? People are like, no, people don't want AI slop. They fucking do. You have no idea what's going on if you think they don't. Picture of a little kid whose fingernails are turning into ants and crawling up their arm. 10 million likes. 5 million grandmas talking about how incredible it is. People are delusional that something being to their eyes as a person with a discerning palate means, oh, I'm not in danger. It's not a threat. People won't like this. People can tell. It's soulless. No, people love it. Thai people from Thailand, love it. Zoomers love it. Although the Zoomers are in most danger of being sucked away by the bots, the text, the language models. The Zoomers are gonna be forget realistic sex dolls. The language models are what's eating them. The chatbots, yeah. Edtertainerd, that one co-worker. Content warning. Microaggressions. Content warning. Toxic positivity. Emotional abuse. I have not looked at this except for the first frame. I don't know what's coming, but I do know that many people want me to look at this. During the pandemic, I was struggling to find work for a while. Correct me if I'm wrong. while. Got an amazing opportunity to interview for a project hire position at a major studio. We'd love to invite you for an interview. I conducted non-stop Zoom interviews with each member of this small team and felt like I made a great impression despite our short meetings. Okay. Looking back, I should have seen it as a red flag. But the hiring manager, who would end up being my supervisor, scheduled a quick follow-up meeting, noting that one of their colleagues commented that I seemed nervous during my interviews. I wanted to know why you came across as nervous to one of my colleagues. I really needed a job, so I did my best to make a strong, compelling case that if I came across as nervous, it was due to the mental and emotional impact of the... This man is stuck in his head. Worse than me when I overthink things. I really needed a job, so I did my best to make a strong, compelling case that if I came across as nervous, it was due to the mental and emotional impact of the... If I came across as, hey, hire me. I was just nervous because I'm totally mind-f***ed by the torture I've been going through these past years. I'm safe to be around. Emotional impact of lockdown and the fact I've been struggling to find work for so long. Thankfully, I said enough to prove that I was the right fit for the job, but I'll admit that one comment about me seeming nervous stayed in the back of my mind. You're hired! My supervisor never told me who made that comment, but after getting to know the rest of the team, it became very clear who that person was. Oh, hi! Welcome to the team! Hey, if I just portray the people in my life who I don't like as freaks online, I win. Initially, things went well enough between myself and this coworker. I tried opening up to them. Why? Hey, I decided to get really personal really fast at work. What are you doing? Initially, things went well enough between myself and this coworker. I tried opening up to them to build understanding and camaraderie. Yeah, I'm sort of out with my family, but it's complicated. How so? Out with my family? Out as in telling them I'm gay or I'm a furry or... But pretty soon, it started to look like this person had already decided who I was. Why? So I just started my job. Hey, I'm gay and my family hate me. What are you doing? What are you doing? Insane. Inappropriate. But pretty soon, it started to look like this person had already decided who I was. Well, my parents are from a different generation, and that, along with my mom being very religious, made me think there was something wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with you. How dare they? You just need to recognize your value and self-worth. Right, I do. That was a long time ago. Seems like a workplace conversation you might not want, but... And seem more fixated on how others perceived them. You mean like you? This is complaining that this person took the spotlight over them. That's why I make sure to always show my children how much I love them, because that's what a good parent should do, but not too much love. I can't have them getting coddled to the point they won't be able to look out for themselves. Bro, this is just how normal people are a lot of the time. Ed, how many people who are not in the Twitter bubble, steeped in the global digital monoculture, how many everyday people have you talked to? 3 out of 5 people, their primary form of communication is monologuing about themselves. Have you never come across this before? Have you never sat on a bus and listened to people talk? Things took a tense, awkward turn when I apologized for getting the name of a building we were visiting wrong. Oh yeah, I've been to wrong name. You mean correct name? I'd never felt more devastated. I felt gaslighted. I didn't know what was real. Was it really called this, or was it called something else? I realized apologizing for something like that made no sense. Bad habit coming from an abusive household, I guess. Oh, sorry. But I doubt it warranted the response. Oh, they're becoming a rage boner. Don't say sorry, they said, becoming a stick demon. This is like the old green text comic where the guy's talking about the terrible black person they ran into on the street, how disgusting they are, how they wish they could kill them, blah, 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 blah. And then the reality, what happened is they bumped into a black person, and the black person messed with them slightly and was like, watch where you're going, white boy. And he says, sorry. And he says, nah, don't worry, I'm just messing with you, and walks off, and then, goes on to 4chan to rage about it. This is like that, but with an employee. I'm sure they did not get up in your grill and literally scream. I never liked confrontation, so I just tried to shrug off this coworker's behavior. But there were other uncomfortable instances where it became clear that I was seen as a project or property with little to no autonomy. Were you there, Junior? I feel like we're missing context. Like when this coworker noticed I was nervous about helping the team at a big convention that would be bringing a lot of people to our booth. Out of nowhere, they take me out of my workspace and drive me to meet with their executive level friend at a nearby major studio. This person is doing everything they can for you, and you're putting them on blast as an asshole. They drove me to meet their executive level friend at a nearby major studio. They gave me a massive connection, an incredible connection. What? Assuming that this would help me calm my nerves. Now, I know they meant well, but I didn't ask for that. Non-consensual, massive career help and advice. Right. Honestly, I was just voicing a human concern. Ah, okay. As opposed to what? I was voicing a human concern, as opposed to one of their subhuman considerations that must have come across as weak and clearly unacceptable to this person. Also, I ended up doing extremely well at that event, which had nothing to do with this coworker's intervention. Ungrateful. Thanks to my hard work and warm nature, I got a chance to lead orientation where I'd welcome new and returning hires to the company. They put me at the front door of the supermarket, greeting people as they came in, a testament to my shining personality. Alright. We'd give out free shirts, tote bag... They had me handing out free gifts to new hires. We'd give out free shirts, tote bags, etc. during each session, and on one occasion some new hires noticed their shirts were the wrong size. They asked for different sizes, and a colleague who was co-hosting gave me the okay to quickly head to our storage room and switch them out. As I was scrambling to switch out the shirts, I happened upon my team, which included that co-worker. You can be the swaggler. After explaining why I was in a rush and not at orientation, that co-worker gave me a look of pure disgust, as if being accommodating was a cardinal sin. They tried to help you. They accommodated you in the extreme. They brought you to someone to help you. They went out of their way. You may not have appreciated it, but it's clearly what they were doing. This co-worker's behavior only got worse after our studio conducted major layoffs that even impacted our small team. They started oversharing very personal and demeaning experiences. You said your instinct was to tell your co-worker about your relationship with your family and how you're gay and that's a problem with your family because they're a different generation and they're religious. I'm the one. This is someone who thinks they're the main character. I think we're seeing main character syndrome, and they're angry that other people are doing what they think the main character gets to do. Is that what we're seeing? We had a little misunderstanding and my spouse started yelling at me, huh? My response to that was, did you enjoy reliving that 5-year-old tantrum? That shut them up. Exhibiting clear anger issues. I just really want to punch somebody right now. Expressing an obsessive hatred for birds. Okay, are you sure they weren't trying to say something funny? I don't know. Were they sincerely just going off on avians? And creating a tense, uncomfortable atmosphere that was already stressful enough given the layoffs. Additional work and unrealistic expectations that came with downsizing. Damn, I would hate to be around someone who hates birds. At this point, my quote-unquote relationship with that coworker had regressed to keeping a professional distance. Good. But after so much mistreatment and not so subtle disdain coming from them, I finally needed to share my concerns with someone. You baby back tattletale bitch. Going to HR because your coworker talked shit about birds, and that was the last straw. Now, I did try voicing my concerns with my supervisor early on, but they were quick to dismiss my feelings and were clearly on this coworker's side. I should have known after noticing similar troubling traits those two shared, but that's another story I won't get into. After sharing practically everything I endured from this toxic coworker with HR, I made the very difficult decision to not extend my project hire status and leave this job. While it could have been a great step forward in my career... You know what could have been a great step forward? You were given an audience with an executive at a major studio. You could have capitalized on that. While it could have been a great step forward in my career, it would have come at the expense of my mental health. Had I known right away that the unidentified employee, who thought I seemed nervous during my interviews, would end up being a sanctimonious, abusive, irrational, petty, contrived narcissist with unaddressed trauma and seething rage, I would never have taken that job in the first place. What a f***ing c*** this person is. You can just tell. Words, how many... Oh my... Hey, care to guess this person's political leanings? So I really don't know what the moral of this story is. Don't presume to know people or where they're coming from. And respect that it's not your right or privilege to uncover that information. Recognize one another's shared humanity. Or maybe don't assume that being stuck in the same office or remote job together every day gives you free rein to ignore or violate a colleague's boundaries. Like what? Like getting personal with them? Like saying, hey, I'm gay, let me tell you about my problems with my family. The fact that I made a comic about it means I'm currently still grappling with this trauma. Jesus Christ. I was able to address it through therapy and reading self-help books, but I know it's a process that I can't just get over, like society or well-meaning family members are too quick to say. Society, have you been telling people you sit next to on the bus about this? A part of me fears that I'd inherited some of that coworker's toxic traits. And I'll admit, I exhibited some of that sanctimonious, boundary-crossing, easily irritated behavior way before I encountered this person. Maybe being on the receiving end of such treatment was a good lesson for me to reflect on. I also realized that I won't always get things right, but I'm willing to listen, learn, and grow. And despite what's expected of us in most individualistic social structures, there's absolutely no shame in asking for help. Yeah, you did, and they tried to give it to you, and then you made a comic to shit on them. To an audience of thousands. Hundreds of thousands, even. If you or someone you know is experiencing similar mistreatment, and if it's safe and comfortable to do so, I'd say try to either say something to this person as soon as possible to hopefully establish healthy boundaries, or report it to someone above them who'd be willing to listen. Nobody deserves to be disrespected regardless of their job title or experience level. I'll admit I waited too long to report this mistreatment, and I know HR is usually looking out for the company rather than its employees, but I don't regret risking my career to put a troubled individual on notice. A troubled individual on notice? That guy has issues. Let's f*** him up. Let's sick HR on him. Let's sick, Oh man, it's not called HR anymore. The PC name for HR is like People and Culture Office now. Yeah. Oh my god! It doesn't stop. I thought I'd end this with a profound observation I heard on an episode of the podcast series, She Has a Name. In it, Dr. Robin L. Smith shares her insights when it comes to trying to push someone you care about or presume to care about to open up or fix unsatisfactory care. They didn't want you to open up. You trauma dumped on them. There is an ignorance that we know better, and the truth is we don't. Sometimes when people push to get information, and they say it is to help you, it may be that they don't know how to manage their own anxiety, their own helplessness. So they see that you are maybe struggling, or they imagine, given what you're living with and through, that you must need something, and they're going to be the ones to give it. So they see that you are maybe struggling, or they imagine, given what you're living with and through, that you must need something, and they're going to be the ones to give it. That's their hero fantasy. So our hearts can be in the right place, but the truth is that it doesn't work. It exhausts everyone involved, and it puts barriers between us. The gift we can give anyone is to honor their space and their pace. How do we do that as loved ones? Go find your own joy. So with that, while I genuinely hope I never see that coworker ever again, I encourage them to seek the help they're too proud to admit they need. Did you tell them they need help? What happened there, brother? Respect others' boundaries and go find their own joy, and more importantly, I'm making the time to create and find my own joy moving forward. Christ! This is so petulant. How long have you been sulking? Cool blog post, bro. Lamau having trauma from working with a weird dude. So from my understanding, there was tension with a coworker, even over something as basic as just them talking about their day, and you couldn't handle that, so you tried to fuck over their job with HR, just for you to immediately quit after anyways? Yeah. These are the types of trauma dump comics that should be memed instead of the sexual assault ones. No, both should be. Both should be. Loneliness, 1 of 6. Trigger warning. Abuse. Crimes. Loneliness. Ever since I was a kid, I felt like I didn't fit in. It started when my friend was rude to me. He called me a poopy head, which began my downward spiral into... Wait. Is that Bardock? I found you, Frieza! You've been hiding as a mid-tier Eastern European furry artist this whole time, I see. For a Saiyan monkey, you are quite clever, Bardock, but you will never destroy me. Ha!